Game begin.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello. Hi,
Hi.
Katrin. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you for being here. I really love your background. Like there are some lights and of course the guitar. Very
Yeah,
nice,
thank you.
nice. Yeah, it's great to have you here. As you know, like our viewers want to know how do they get into the games industry, and maybe to start to kick off the conversation, who are you?
Yes, hi. My name is Kathrin. I'm a game programmer. I worked in the indie game industry for about 5 years now, and just recently I founded my own indie game studio, Spellgarden Games, and with that we're working on our first prototype right now, and it's all very exciting.
Nice. That sounds awesome, and we will hear more about that just now. Maybe like to start off, how did you find your way into the games industry?
Yeah, that was not really planned. So after school, actually, I really wanted to become a designer. So I applied for a lot of schools in that area. But I also applied to the HDM in Stuttgart, Hochschule der Medien in Stuttgart, for something called mobile Medien, so mobile media. And I thought that was really interesting because it was advertised as like how you design apps and games a little bit, and a little bit of programming, just like tiny bit. And then I started it, and it was a lot of programming. I had never seen a single line of code before, and
Oh,
it was actually overwhelming at first. And I thought, okay, let's see how this goes. But yeah, I really loved the programming part. Actually, when I learned about it, I discovered that I'm really passionate about this. So I took more classes about programming and game development at that point, and yeah, then at some point I actually discovered that this is really a career that you can have. So I didn't really know that game programming was a career to have in Germany. So I
how
always
did you
thought that.
discover it? Like how? Yeah. How did that
Yeah,
happen?
so yeah, I think it was there were these courses, right? So theory of game development and then a little bit of programming. And I thought, well, it's interesting, but what do I do with it now? But then I got to know some people actually in Ludwigsburg from the Film Academy, for example,
How
that
did you get to know them? Like just meet, like on a party, or like
yeah,
on an
actually, yeah. So
partying helps to meet the right people, or
yeah, I mean, it's true. Networking and going to parties is sometimes really helpful. So yeah, actually, I met the people from Studio Fitzbin at a party,
ah.
and they told me, yeah, we're developing games in Ludwigsburg, and I was like, really? Okay, so people are making games here near me, and I thought that was very interesting. So I actually had my first internship then at Studio Fitzbin when I was in my 5th semester, and
Oh, nice.
yeah, so then I noticed, okay, this is something that I want to do, and then I did.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
And overall, how long did it take you to get the internship at FISBIN? And like what, like when the idea came up, like okay, I would love to be a developer. It's cool. How long was the process to get into it?
Um, so I think like in my 2nd or 3rd semester, I noticed that making games is a lot of fun because we had some small game projects that we had to do like for the studies. I noticed that that was fun, and then until I had the internship in my 5th semester, I had some more courses and yeah, learned a little bit more about this. So it was yeah, from the first idea that this could be something that I could do to actually having the internship was 1.5 years or something.
Okay, 1.5 years. Yeah, that's a long. Yeah, no, it's not that long. Like from deciding to really, yeah, pursuing that goal. Like, yeah, it's quite cool. And like, how did you get the internship? So like, you meet the FISBIN guys at a party, and you just like, hey, I'm this intern. I would love to work for you, and here are my papers? Or like, how did it look like? How did you really get it?
Yeah, so I followed them on Facebook, I think. Wait, that was a long time ago. So yeah, I think it was actually Facebook then. And I think then, like half a year before I had to do my internship, so it's mandatory for the course that I did, I saw that they are having a playtest. And I thought, oh, this is kind of a good opportunity. Then I said, okay, I will playtest. And then I did the playtesting and gave some feedback on the game that I was testing. And then after that, I said, hey, well, maybe I could do an internship here. So what do you think? Yeah, after that, I think I just gave them an application, sent something via email, like just yeah, my CV and something like that. Then I had a small interview for that, and then they said yes.
And then it happened. Okay, cool, cool. So basically, it was really helpful to get in touch with them and like try to be close to them via testing their game. That really helped. At least that it sounds like it. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. And so, how long did you work for like companies before you decided to found your own company?
After I finished my bachelor's, or actually while I was finishing my bachelor thesis, I started working at Studio Fitzbin, and I worked there for 5 years.
Oh, wow.
So actually exactly 5 years to the day.
Exactly 5 years.
Yeah.
Okay. Why 5 years? Like, what kind of experience did you get during these years, and why did you decide to found your own company?
It was great, actually. So I learned a lot of things. I started out with not much knowledge, of course, because as I said earlier, I had no idea about programming and everything before I started studying. And then I started there and could learn everything. And the team was great and everything. I learned a lot, worked on a lot of games, and also had a lot of, even creative freedom, even though I am obviously a programmer and not a game designer or something. But I've always felt like I could actually give something to the game that I maybe wouldn't be able to on a bigger team. And then, I mean, the thought of having my own company, I had that for a long time. So even after I finished studying, I was like, oh, maybe this could be something. But then I had a job, and that was quite comfortable having a job, and getting money.
Quite comfortable.
And actually, I quit my job because two of my other co-founders, they also worked at Fitzbin and they were laid off in the middle of this year. And then together we decided, okay, now or never.
Nice. Okay, so basically, was it? It was kind of like a very fast decision. Of course, like long plan because you had the urge to be self-employed. And then it just happened.
Yeah, it's true. So I think the past couple of months, it felt more real that this could become a reality at some day, but it was not like, not something like, okay, this is going to happen next month, more like maybe next year or something. And we already worked a little bit on a concept for a game, the game that we're actually working on now. There was just a small idea, nothing more. But it was a surprise actually then when it happened.
Okay, nice. So you decided to like found your own studio and develop games, or like what do you exactly do? Like what is your company about? Maybe you, explain
So the main focus is actually hopefully making a lot of great games, but of course, making games is very expensive and we have to get some money for this. So we're very happy to get funding from the MFG now for our first prototype. But also, I don't think it will be just possible for us to live on making games alone, probably, at least for the first few years, probably. So I think we will be doing some freelance jobs to get money, at least a bit. But actually what we want to do is make kind of wholesome games with diverse characters. Right now we're an all-female team, so that's very nice. And cool. I think I feel like we can really make a change, or at least I hope so, in the games industry to do something creative that maybe other teams would do differently. So.
Nice. So like how's the dynamic, or like what would be the change? Because like you work at Studio Fispin, and like I know Studio Fispin is like they're really cool people there. So what would you do differently?
So I think Studio Fispin is actually quite big, at least for me it was in the end. So when I started at Studio Fispin, I think we were like 6 people or something, or 6 to 8 people maybe. And in the end, before I left, there were like 25 people. So that felt big to me. And I'm really happy to work in a smaller team now. It just doesn't feel like as much overhead. And we can just talk directly, and it's not that complicated. So this is nice. And also, I feel like it's a bit easier to talk about about my feelings. So, for example, in an all-female team, it's much easier to say, "Hey, I started my period today. I'm going to bed," because everyone's like, "Oh yeah, I know that." So, not that I couldn't do that at Fispin, but it's a little bit different. So
okay, so it's like more close family,
a bit more
friends.
Intimate. Yeah, I wouldn't say family, because that always feels like a red flag in games industry. So it's not a family, but
okay. What do you mean by that, though? But because
So yeah, I mean, a lot of companies, or people are very passionate about game development, and I am very passionate about game development, but especially when it comes to like crunch situations, I think it can be quite toxic to think of each other as a family, because obviously you don't want to let other people down. So when someone is working very long hours, you would, even though maybe you can't because you have other things or you don't feel good, you would also work very long hours because, she's like a sister to me. I have to also work long hours. So I think it's
work-life balance.
Dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and actually this is something that we really would like to avoid. To not crunch and to have reasonable working hours every time, all the time, and not before finishing a project to just only work.
How do you do that? Because like it's really hard, because especially like as you said, okay, you have the game, you have to find a way to finance it, you have the freelance jobs, and what's the solution to it? Or like how do you organize your work that you are able to not crunch too much?
Yeah, I don't have a solution right now.
But like how do you do it like right now?
Yeah, we just try to look after each other, to look after ourselves, to see what feels good for us, and to not work that much. So I always track my times actually with a paper calendar.
Ooh,
and when I see
cool.
Okay, and when I see okay, there's a lot of work in the last week, so maybe I should calm down, don't work that much. I think that's very important. And actually, before we founded the company, that's what we said. So if it's not possible to have this company without working ourselves to death, then we don't want it. So we will try it like this, and if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. But yeah.
Okay, nice. So what do you love about your job? Because like you said, hey, I want to be self-employed, I want to do this. Like what made you do it?
Yeah, so before we founded this company, and actually before the decision to quit my job and everything, I actually sat down and I was like, okay, I want maybe to do something else. And what do I even want to do? And I made a very long list of all the things that I wanted to do. So I, of course, I love programming. This is the thing I do most of the time. But I also love to organize meetups, for example. I work for Ready to Code, and that's a nonprofit association in Stuttgart that is about gender diversity and tech. This is something that I want to do. And then I also have the YouTube channel I worked for that is called So Many Tabs. So this is something that I want to do. And it's a very long list. And I feel like this is not something that you can do in a job. There's no job posting that says, hey, you can organize events and do YouTube videos and program and do all these other things. Nobody wants that. So I have to make this job myself. That's the only way.
Yeah. Yeah, so you have more freedom to be kind of yourself, or like to be able to always do all these different tasks and jobs, right?
Yeah, just do a lot of different things because I'm passionate about a lot of things. So I love programming, but I also love to film myself and make videos.
Nice. And like maybe for our viewers, it would be nice to hear how do you deal with the situation? Because I think, of course, like with a lot of freedom, there is a lot of responsibility. And what would you like if you have like a tip or like what would you suggest to the viewers who wants to pursue a career in the games industry? What should be they aware of?
Just in general, or
Yeah.
yeah.
No, like with your experience, of course, like.
Yeah, that's very difficult question actually. So I
Especially
think
maybe
it's
for someone who's like self-employed, because, you know.
yeah. So I think it's scary. Of course, you never know what time will bring. So will I be able to have this job in half a year? I don't know. It's scary, but I kind of feel confident that something else will come. So if this isn't working out, there will be something else. And there are so many different jobs in the gaming industry actually that I think I will find something anyway. And I think everyone has. There are so many talented people with different talents, and I think everyone can find something that they will excel in. And yeah, I would just advise people to not be afraid, even though, okay, that sounds pathetic. Of course, be afraid. That's fine. Being anxious is totally normal, but you can do things. You can be scared and do things at the same time. Those are not two things that can't go together. And I'm afraid of having this company, but I can also have this company. So
Nice.
Just start with something and try it out. And if this isn't the right thing, then you can always try something else.
This is quite encouraging, I would say. And I think if you're able to live with the risk, and usually the risk is worth it if you really love what you do and if you enjoy to have this freedom, right? So yeah.
Yeah, but also, of course, maybe I need to say that, of course, I'm in a very privileged situation. So I have family and friends, and I know that if everything fails and I don't make any money, I do have a family that can pay for my bills for a few months. And I know that not everyone has that. So, yeah, it's riskier for
your
some
family.
than yeah, of course.
Yeah. Nice. Okay, one weird question maybe. If I would be a genie and you would have a free wish, what would it be for the situation right now?
I would just a free wish, everything. I can wish for everything.
Yeah,
I would just wish to make games, to make the games that I like to make for the next few years without having to worry about money.
Okay. Nice. Nice. And so what would you, like from your situation, suggest to our viewers? How should they get into the games industry? What helps?
Yeah, so we just talked about networking, right? I think it's the most obvious one, even though maybe the most uncomfortable one for some people. And I can totally understand that it's a bit difficult and scary to go into these places, to go like to events and talk to people. It's very intimidating because there are so many great people that even I look up to, and then when they stand there, I'll think, oh, I want to talk to you, but I'm too scared. So I can totally understand it's scary, but I would advise you, if you can, take everything you have and go to these people and just talk to them, because most of the people in games are really nice. They will want to help you. So if you ever meet me on an event, please come to me. I would love to talk to everyone.
Yeah, if people want to reach out to you, how do they get in touch with you?
So I think the easiest one would probably be my Twitter account. That is just, I think, Radtke Kathrin, so just my name.
Yeah.
to find me on Twitter and just write me a message or write a mail. that would be the easiest way.
Okay, nice. And which events did you go to which really helped you to, like, where did you meet Fispin?
I met Fispin at the Ehrliche Wurst.
Ah.
So it's just an event from that university. But also, I think the events that helped me personally the most were the ones in my region. So in Baden-Württemberg, we have the open stage from the MFG Baden-Württemberg. Was always the best because you already probably know some people from there because maybe you studied with them or met them somewhere else. And it's a bit easier than if you know just one or two people, then it's easier to meet other people. And if it's a regional thing, you will meet them like every few months and say hi to them. And then at the next time, maybe you say 2 or 3 words and you grow a bit closer, and it feels like more like, friendly conversations. And this is always something that I would advise. Go to local events, go to local meetups.
Local events are the key. Nice. So thank you very much. And maybe like one closing comment, if you have one. Shout out to the viewers.
I think the most important thing that we talked about is to not be afraid to start with something, and then to learn after that wherever you want to go. Because I feel like, so from my experience, you always get somewhere if you just start. And for me, it was always the right thing to just go with the flow.
Nice. Go with the flow. That's a nice closing comment. Thank you very much, Kathrin.
Thank you.
Have a great evening and day, both.
You too.
And good luck with your games. So everyone check out the games which are coming up hopefully very soon. Or book Kathrin for any other freelance jobs. So
yes, please.
Thank you very much, and see you soon.
Yes, bye.